What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Yeah!
Come for you when you were...
First night you get to jail, what'd that feel like? When you're like, yo, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be locked up.
No, first night I got locked up, I watched Lone Survivor, and I was like, I'm definitely snitching, right? and then, no, seriously, I'm
So from the jump,
I'm
you
like,
laid down and you were stuffing your pillow. You're like, nah, it ain't gonna be long.
You mentioned earlier that you were in jail with Diddy.
Yep.
What was that like?
Funny story, and I'm just gonna talk about Diddy. Diddy seen me get on my knees 3 times a day to pray to the Lord Jesus Christ, right? I prayed in the morning when I woke up before I brushed my teeth. I prayed in the middle of the day around 6 p.m. and I'll pray right before I go to bed. I did that probably about for 7 days to 9, I believe about a week and a half. And Diddy said, hey, I see you read a lot of the Bible, because what I would do, I'll pray in the morning, but on my second prayer at 6 p.m. I'll read Psalms 91, Psalms 121, and Daniel 7, I believe, when they put them in the den of the lions. I'll read that every day at 6 p.m. And he says, I see you reading a lot of the Bible. I see you very, you get on your knees every day and pray to the Lord. Can I pray with you? And I said, yeah.
Did you and Diddy have conversations?
yeah, we spoke. The first thing he said to me, he laughed. He's like, yo, that's crazy how we meet, right? And you know, it was everybody there. We gave a hug and all that shit. I mean, he's like, yo, I'm like, yo, oh, that's what I said. I said, yo, why you never invited me to none of your parties?
Any freak offs?
Huh?
Did you get invited to any freak offs?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, why you ain't invite me? Word two, that was the first thing he said, yo, that's crazy how we meet, right? We laughed. I said, yo, why you never invited me to none of your parties? Word two, that's how it happened. And then I put him on the phone with academics.
Right. Didn't you say that, like, you saw how Diddy was kind of running shit when he was in jail, like having other inmates do shit for him and everything? Was that you?
I never said that.
That wasn't you?
Yeah,
Okay,
that
well, that
wasn't
might have
me.
been someone else.
By the way, like I said, I'm not going to speak about the Diddy situation. I'm just telling you the altercation we had, because, you know, if I go to jail, what's today, the 15th?
What altercation are you talking about?
I'm talking about, like, our interaction.
So you and Diddy were locked up together?
Me, Diddy, slept next to each other.
How was SBF in jail?
Bro, he's just like the smartest person. He only got up to play chess. I didn't play him, but we spoke. I went to his bed and asked him for like legal advice, you know what I mean? And
Is he the one to go to though? I mean, he's in there with you, right?
yeah, so I went up to him to legal advice. He's like, yo, you're here for 45 days. Like, you ain't tripping.
But we were doing Trailer Fest. They took a chance on us. That was our first show out of jail.
Right.
Paid us like $350,000, $400,000. So we did a sound check the day before. It was like out by the beach, where it may be. And Danny's like, bro, I can't jump from here to the crowd. He's like, I'm not doing this. And I'm like, bro, are you crazy, bro? You're the guy in jail. There's gonna be 15,000 people here tomorrow. You're doing the show. He feels he gets to touch the crowd. And like, I respect that. So I said, let's figure out a way. We move shit around, whatever it may be. And then.
So he did perform?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And he killed it.
Right, so right around 2020, I was right. That's when he publicly acknowledged Islam. He started wearing the attire publicly and everything else like that.
But Dirk Sr., what year did he come home?
See, yep, right around the same time.
This is what I do. This is what I do.
Right around the same time, 2019.
2019, you said 2020, right? He came home and said,
Yep.
son, I turned Muslim in jail. You do it too. Out of here, jail. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, bitch, we lie. Go to jail, turn Muslim. Look for God out here. Yeah. What happened to on phone him? What happened to Big Beatty on phone him grave on Steve Drive? Now it's like, inshallah, don't do that. Go to jail, Jack Beatty. Go to jail and be on Steve Drive on phone him grave on Lil Wooski. Now it's, oh, I'm part of the Muslim thing. Let's protect me. Let's all pray. Yeah. Out here.
Okay.
Yo, let's
okay,
gather
look.
around, do a prayer circle. No, we're gonna pray with the beating, and that's
Look.
gonna make a lot of the comfortable. They gonna watch this. Like, why he yelling? You ever seen when whoever the Wasco was like, get that yam off your face?
When 6ix9ine finally stood in court, he says there was only one word he heard over and over again: murder. Not memes, not headlines, not jokes, just murder. This was before the internet turned him into a punchline, before the snitch label swallowed his name, before everyone decided how his story would end. In that moment, there were no bodyguards, no security, no fame to hide behind. Just a cell door waiting to close. And here's the part nobody expected. Jail wasn't what nearly destroyed him. Freedom was. When federal agents arrested Daniel Hernandez on November 18, 2018, it wasn't just another celebrity bust. The timing was deliberate. Behind the scenes, FBI wiretaps had picked up something far more serious than music industry drama. Members of the 9 Trey Gangster Bloods were discussing something called super violation. In street language, that wasn't a warning. It was a green light. Hernandez had publicly fired his crew on Instagram, cutting ties with the same people he depended on for protection. To them, that wasn't business. It was betrayal. Prosecutors believed his life was in immediate danger, not just from rivals, but from former allies who felt exposed. The arrest wasn't just about charges, it was about pulling him out of the fire before someone acted. But that didn't make what came next any less dangerous. Because once the cuffs clicked, the safety net disappeared. Despite knowing the threats, authorities placed him in general population at MDC Brooklyn, a facility so notorious that some judges refused to send inmates there at all. Overcrowded, understaffed, violent, loud. Constant lockdowns, a place designed to break people quietly. For someone with gang ties, a global profile, and an active target on his back, this move stunned experts. Inside, tension surfaced immediately. Crips, Bloods, eyes watching, whispers spreading. The public assumed it was only a matter of time before something happened. Headlines painted the picture of inevitable violence, of payback finally catching up to him. But that's not what happened, because the first night completely shattered the narrative. Instead of fighting for survival, Hernandez was handed an iPad. They told him to lay down. He watched Lone Survivor, a war movie about impossible odds, betrayal, and decisions that change everything. The irony couldn't have been heavier. While the world imagined him shaking in fear, he was doing something else entirely. Thinking, not panicking, not crying, calculating. That night revealed something important. Fear wasn't driving him. Strategy was, but the weight of reality didn't fully hit until the next day. At arraignment, the charges were read out loud. Racketeering, firearms, conspiracy, murder. Not rumors, not exaggerations, life-ending words. He would later say that moment was when it finally sank in. This wasn't image management anymore. This wasn't rap bravado. This was a future measured in decades, not albums. And yet, his response wasn't what people expected. He didn't ask for protection. He didn't beg. His focus shifted somewhere else entirely. Family. The threats weren't new. They started long before the arrest. And if cooperating kept his family safe, he was already leaning toward a decision the culture would never forgive. Then everything changed. Within days, he was moved. Not deeper into danger, but away from it. Protective custody. What he described shocked people. Older inmates, cooperators. Private showers, privacy, commissary access. This wasn't the MDC people imagined. This wasn't chaos. It was isolation with structure. The reason was simple. Federal prosecutors needed him alive. His testimony was valuable, and value brings protection. While the public screamed about death threats and inevitable payback, his reality looked very different. He was on the phone for hours, talking to his girlfriend, checking in with his business manager, managing money, trying to keep his mind steady inside a place designed to strip people of control. Every call, every routine, every small decision helped him hold on to something familiar. It wasn't freedom, not even close, but it was stability. And in a system built on chaos, stability can be the thin line between breaking down and surviving another day. That comfort didn't mean he was safe forever, it meant he was protected for a reason. Federal systems don't offer protection out of kindness, they offer it when someone has value. Survival came with strings attached, and once he crossed that line, there was no walking it back. Cooperation wasn't just a legal move. It was a permanent identity shift. The moment he cooperated, hip-hop culture turned cold. Doors closed without explanation. Collaborators went silent. His name stopped meaning controversy and started meaning betrayal. The snitch label didn't just follow him, it defined how he was spoken about, remembered, and reduced. But instead of shrinking under it, he confronted it head on. He pointed out something people hated admitting out loud. Cooperation wasn't rare, it was selective. Quiet deals had been happening for decades. Careers had been saved quietly. Reputations had been protected discreetly. The difference was that others did it in silence. He did it publicly. And that honesty came with a price no one else had to pay. According to him, that honesty didn't get him hurt inside. No confrontations. No revenge plots carried out. No violence. While the outside world imagined constant danger and bloodshed, his days were defined by routine and isolation, not chaos. Hours passed slowly. Time stretched. Faith became the story he told himself to stay grounded. Confidence became the posture he maintained, so weakness wouldn't invite pressure. Fear, he believed, was more dangerous than any inmate. Fear makes people hesitate. Fear makes people fold, and folding inside a place like that can cost you everything. That's the irony most people miss. The place designed to punish him became the place that kept him safest. The end. Once he was released, everything flipped. In public, there were no controlled movements, no locked doors, no guards standing between him and people looking for revenge or a viral moment. Every appearance came with uncertainty. He was attacked at a gym, beaten in the Dominican Republic, targeted in places where cameras were optional and consequences were delayed. Outside, celebrity didn't protect him. It worked against him. Visibility made him accessible. Fame made him reachable. The same notoriety that once built his career now painted a target on his back. Inside federal custody, none of that existed. There were rules, there were routines, there were boundaries that couldn't be crossed. And most importantly, there were consequences. No documented attacks, no stabbings, no incidents. The system people fear had done something the streets never could. It kept him alive. Behind walls, his fame made him too risky to touch, too visible, too expensive. Any harm done to him would bring heat no one wanted and consequences no one could escape. In a strange way, prison neutralized the chaos that followed him everywhere else. That contrast explains something many people still struggle to understand. When Hernandez surrendered again in 2026, he didn't move quietly or disappear into the night. He live-streamed it. He sang songs. He laughed. He joked his way through the process. To outsiders, it looked reckless, disrespectful, detached. But it wasn't denial. It wasn't shock. It was familiarity. Jail no longer symbolized fear for him. It had become routine, controlled, predictable. He already knew how it worked. When to move, when to speak, when to stay quiet. He had already adapted. Music was recorded ahead of time. Plans were outlined. Strategies were in place. Confidence stayed intact. The cell itself was never the punishment. 4 walls and a schedule weren't what weighed on him. The real punishment was everything waiting on the outside once the door opened. The isolation, the exile, the permanent distance from an industry and a culture that had already decided his role in the story. 6ix9ine didn't survive jail because he was tougher than everyone else. He survived because he understood power. He understood value. He understood leverage. He understood exactly when systems protect and when they don't. He knew when the rules worked in his favor and when they were designed to let the streets handle the rest. Prison didn't break him. Exile did. And whether people love him or hate him, one uncomfortable truth remains. He made a choice the culture judged instantly. A choice that followed him everywhere. A choice that closed doors and painted targets. But he lived with the consequences longer and navigated them better than most people ever could. And that's the part nobody wants to talk about. If this story made you rethink what you thought you knew about jail, fame, or survival, make sure you're subscribed. We break down the stories behind the headlines, the parts that never make it into viral clips. New videos like this every week. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.